Good morning and welcome to New Hanover County Schools' The Morning Show.
The area's most entertaining, educational, and informative way to start your daily routine.
I'm Rachel Glue.
And I'm Jamie Stalfort.
This is the week of January 6th through January 11th. The holiday season has come to an end and all the festivities are over and you're left with a new year.
It can be a time to set in place new things to learn and do, or it can be a time of consolidation of things you're already passionately pursuing.
Another alternative might be to simply contemplate where you've reached in your life so far. Whatever your preferred approach to the new year, it's nice to start feeling refreshed and focused, ready to get back into things you're working on or to start on new things.
Speaking of new things, Emily Coulter is standing by with our first look at your school news headlines for 2014. Good morning, Emily.
Good morning, Rachel and Jamie, and welcome everyone to your school news here on The Morning Show. Topping the headlines this week, County Teacher of the Year becomes Regional Teacher of the Year. 2 area schools each win $25,000 from U.S. Cellular, and high school principal resigns his position to relocate to Georgia. I will have all those stories and more coming up later in the show.
Thanks, Emily. We look forward to those stories.
In honor of the new year, here's a fun fact about the history of this celebration. Did you know the beginning of the new year wasn't always celebrated on January 1st?
Really? No, I didn't know that. What date was it first celebrated on?
The first celebration was observed in ancient Babylon about 4,000 years ago. The Babylonians celebrated the new year on what is now March 23rd, the time of the year that spring begins and new crops are planted.
Wow, that is very interesting. I never knew that.
Well, you learn something new every day.
Speaking of learning new things, I believe it's time for a very important segment.
You're right. Now it's time for our first segment of the day, This Week in History. Our Grand Master of Historical Knowledge has all the headlines from past times in This Week in History, which is brought to you by Kidsville News.
Welcome to This Week in History. I'm your historical host, Sarah Dorsey, covering all the colorful and amazing events that have left their mark on history's timeline. This is the week of January 6th through January 12th. January 6th, 1838, Samuel Morse's telegraph system is demonstrated for the first time in New Jersey. The telegraph, a device which used electronic pulses to transmit encoded messages over a wire, would eventually revolutionize long-distance communication. January 7th, 1789, on this day in 1789, America's first presidential election is held. Voters cast ballots to choose state electors. Only white men who owned property were allowed to vote. As expected, George Washington won the election and was sworn to office on April 30th, 1789. January 8th, 1642, Italian astronomer Galileo dies in Italy at age 77. Galileo has been referred to as the father of modern astronomy, the father of modern physics, and the father of science due to his revolutionary discoveries. On January 9th, 1887, on one of the worst days of the worst winter in the West, nearly an inch of snow falls every hour for 16 hours, impeding the ability of already starving cattle to find food. Deceived by a string of mild winters, many ranch managers had failed to put up any winter feed for their stock. January 10, 1962, on this day in 1962, an avalanche on the slopes of an extinct volcano kills more than 4,000 people in Peru. 9 towns and 7 smaller villages were destroyed. Finally, your weekend history tidbits. January 11, 1935, in the first flight of its kind, American aviator Amelia Earhart departs Wheeler Field in Honolulu, Hawaii on a solo flight to North America. The next day, after traveling 2,400 miles in 18 hours, she safely landed at Oakland Airport in Oakland, California. On January 12, 1879, the British Zulu War begins as British troops under Lieutenant General Frederick Augustus invade Zululand from the Southern African Republic of Natal. That's This Week in History, your ultimate source for those key moments in time. I'm Sarah Dorsey. Thank you. Bye.
This Week in History is brought to you by Kidsville News, a fun and effective learning resource for children, teachers, and parents. It features school news, information, and local community events while promoting literacy and the development of good reading habits, character traits, and study skills in young children. And best of all, Kidsville News is always free. Copies are delivered every month to every elementary school in the new Hanover County school system.
And join us again next time for another journey through time as we explore the fun, fascinating, entertaining, and educational facts that make up This Week in History.
Now don't go away. We'll be right back.
My hopes right now are just to go out there and play the perfect show.
You have to make choices. We want to do this. We want this.
Welcome back to The Morning Show. I'm Rachel Glue. The Buzz is our entertainment report covering books, movies, music, and video games. Each week, our reporters review and recommend a selection for you to enjoy. This week, host E.J. McGonigal tells us his top 3 family-friendly movies to watch during the holidays.
Hello and welcome to The Buzz. I'm E.J. McGonigal, and I hope you're all getting into the holiday mood. I know I am. One way you can feel festive and ready for Christmas is by getting the family together around the Yule log and popping in one of these movies. These are my top 3 favorite holiday season movies. Number 3, The Polar Express. Based on Chris Van Allsburg's story of the same name, this animated classic will really make you and your kids smile. It's a story about a mysterious train called the Polar Express that picks up children on its long route across the world and takes them to see Santa at the North Pole. The charm of the movie comes not from the destination, but the journey itself. The train travels across mountains, through valleys, and even across a frozen lake. With voiceover work by Tom Hanks, Josh Hutcherson, and Eddie Deason, this is sure to be a hit with the family. Number 2 is Home Alone. Released in 1990, this film is sure to be remembered by adults of all ages. A hit classic, Home Alone is about 8-year-old Kevin McAllister, played by Macaulay Culkin, who is accidentally left at his house on Christmas Eve by his family when they take an airplane to Florida. Unfortunately, 2 robbers pick that exact same night to break into the McAllister home. Antics ensue when Kevin finds ways to keep the robbers out of his house, and the methods he uses gradually become more ridiculous and inventive. This is a great movie to get the kids laughing and giggling. It features actors like Joe Pesci, John Hurd, and Catherine O'Hara. It's a great movie to sit down with a mug of hot chocolate and watch. And number 1, The Nightmare Before Christmas. This animated film from 1993 is a fantastic movie for the family. It is about Jack Skellington, leader of Halloween Town, who suddenly starts to yearn for more than just the scariness of the town he rules. He discovers Christmas Town and is so enraptured by it that he tries to integrate the 2 concepts of Halloween and Christmas. Things don't go so well, and Jack realizes he doesn't know as much about this mysterious Christmas town as he initially thought. This movie has fantastic visuals and is very appealing to watch. Directed by Tim Burton, its dark style is recognizable and to be appreciated by viewers of all ages. Your kids will love this number 1 choice, and so will you. The winter holidays are all about being together with the family and making memories. So do just that. Pile onto the living room couch with blankets and cups of hot chocolate, pop in one of these movies, and make happy family memories this upcoming holiday season. I'm E.J. McGonigal, and I wish you all a happy holidays.
Well, those are 3 great movies that will be fun to watch over the holiday break. Rachel, do you have a favorite holiday movie?
I do love A Christmas Story. What about you, Jamie?
I love Christmas with the Cranks.
Oh, I can't wait for a holiday break to sit around and just watch movies.
Me either.
It's time now for our first set of news stories. Let's send it over to Emily Coulter to find out what's going on in the school system. Good morning, Emily.
Good morning and welcome to your school news on the morning show. I'm Emily Coulter. Our top story this week is Laney High School teacher Melissa Gillespie named Southeast Regional Teacher of the Year. In a surprise ceremony and reception at the Board of Education officials, representatives from the Department of Public Instruction and the school system delivered the news to Mrs. Gillespie. We get the full report from Jamie Selford.
It was a big day at Laney High School as friends, family, and faculty gathered in the Media Center to surprise New Hanover County Educator of the Year and Laney's social studies teacher Melissa Gillespie as she found out that she had been named Southeast Regional Teacher of the Year by the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction. The reception for Ms. Gillespie took place in the library and was a complete and total surprise. The morning consisted of praise for Mrs. Gillespie, delicious refreshments, and a celebration of her teaching career. As a teacher at Laney for the past 10 years, Mrs. Gillespie has seen students grow and learn. Karen Dickerson, the current State Teacher of the Year, said Mrs. Gillespie makes the children want to succeed. Everyone at Laney was excited about Mrs. Gillespie's honor.
Well, obviously it's an honor for her, it's an honor for Laney High School and the New Hanover County school system. You know, I was talking with some folks earlier. I said, you know, you can be a principal a long time. You can have a career as a principal, and you may never have an opportunity to have a regional teacher of the year work in your building. And it's quite a special thing to have somebody like Ms. Gillespie to represent us that way and to represent Laney and New Hanover County schools that way.
Board of Education Chairman praised Mrs. Gillespie for her dedication to the profession. Deputy Superintendent Dr. Rick Holliday struggled to hold back tears. One of Dr. Holliday's last hires at Laney when he was principal was Melissa Gillespie. On hand for this celebration was Mrs. Gillespie's husband and children, who along with many others had to keep the recognition a secret. Gillespie was named New Hanover County's Teacher of the Year in June and went through an intense interview process to advance to the regional level. Teachers from 13 other counties competed for the honor, but all of Mrs. Gillespie's students knew she was the only choice.
Miss Gillespie, it's really hard to explain. Miss Gillespie, she really touches her students. She really, she makes us want to learn. Like Shelby Cook said in her speech, she really, touches all of us in a way that most teachers don't. She breaks everything down to where we can understand it and where it makes learning about it fun. She made the Embargo Act seem like it was a day at the fair, basically. She's a really amazing teacher, and it really seems like she was born to teach. That seems like her God-given talent. I really do believe.
This has been an exciting year for Gillespie. Her County Educator of the Year honors came with a Toyota Prius for a year, and she has seen herself on billboards, in local TV commercials, and more. She'll now move on to compete against 8 other teachers for the honor of State Teacher of the Year in May of 2014.
I'm incredibly excited. It feels great to be honored for something that you do every day and you've done for a decade, and it's just incredibly exciting. It's a huge honor.
Mrs. Gillespie brings joy to her students on a daily basis and is being recognized appropriately for it. The surprise reception was a special moment for her as students, family, and faculty were all on hand to celebrate and congratulate Mrs. Gillespie for her hard work. Everyone agreed that Ms. Gillespie is a great teacher because she sets high expectations for her students and then works hard to ensure that she meets each of their academic needs so that they succeed. Reporting for Your School News, this is Jamie Stalford.
Todd Finn, principal of New Hanover High School, announced last week that he is leaving to accept a new position with the school in Henry County, Georgia. Mr. Finn will remain at New Hanover until the end of December 2013. Mr. Finn was hired by the district in July 2011 after the retirement of the former principal. Plans for the new principal of New Hanover will be announced. New Hanover County Schools Superintendent Dr. Tim Markley said he wishes Mr. Finn success in his new position. The superintendent cited several of Mr. Finn's initiatives, such as the Freshman Odyssey Academy, improving the school's dropout rate, and increasing the school spirit, as achievements that have improved NHCS under Mr. Finn's tenure. Isaac Bear Early College High School welcomed Anthony Tata, Secretary of Transportation for the state of North Carolina, as a speaker for their signature program, Launching Leaders. Tata is retired from the U.S. Army as a brigadier general and brings to his position more than 3 decades of public service as a military officer and public school system leader. Mr. Tata has a history of successfully leading and transforming large, complex organizations with vast responsibilities. Most recently, he served as the superintendent of Wake County Public Schools. During his talk, Mr. Tata shared with the students stories of his time in Afghanistan and how he planned and implemented multiple operations involving complex transportation and infrastructure challenges.
Today I learned a lot about integrity and things that are very important in being a leader and things that I hope to emulate in the future. I was particularly impressed that he was able to convey his sense of leadership without sacrificing any particular humor, or he was lighthearted but very serious at the same time.
Well, a lot of what he was talking about today is like the perks of leadership and why it can really pay off, and not just leadership, but all like the traits that help build it up, like respect and honor, and sort of a self-courage that can let you kind of move forward to do as much as you think you can do. And sort of if you have that self-courage, you can achieve so much more than if you just decided, wow, I can't do anything, so I'm just going to stay where I am.
Isaac Bear's signature leadership program focuses on 7 leadership themes. The themes reflect the qualities of leadership and include time management, strong language art skills, integrity, resilience, problem solving, global citizenship, and communication. Mr. Tata engaged students and faculty and touched on all 7 leadership themes in an engaging and informative manner. For all of the latest New Hanover County Schools, join us weekdays at 5:30 p.m. here on Time Warner Cable Channel 5 and Charter Cable Channel 12 for your school news, a complete half hour of all the latest news and information from New Hanover County Schools. Now, back to our hosts.
Thanks, Emily. In addition to watching your school news in the morning show, you can see many of NHCS TV's programming online.
Just go to the school system's website at www.nhcs.net and click on the NHCS TV video library link under Items of Interest right there on the front page.
You can watch great programs there like the Sports Roundtable, the Forum, and You Talk with Paige Turner.
It's an excellent way to watch our programming whenever you want.
In fact, watching our fun, family-friendly programming is a great way to start the new year.
Is that an official suggestion?
Well, since it is that time of year, I thought I'd just throw that out there.
Okay, that was good. Here's a couple of fun facts about the new year. The first New Year's Eve ball was dropped in Times Square in 1907. Since fireworks had recently been banned, an electrician built a ball made of wood and iron as an alternate way to celebrate. The ball featured 100 light bulbs and was dropped from a flagpole at midnight on New Year's Eve.
Wow, that's impressive. Here's another one. In some cultures, traditional New Year's food are thought to ensure good luck for the coming year. Pork is a popular dish in places like Cuba, Austria, Hungary, and Portugal, as well as other countries where pigs represent progress and prosperity.
Interesting. I'll have to be sure to have some barbecue tonight then.
You should. You'll be sure to have lots of good luck this year.
I hope so.
Our next feature is from one of our classic series, Health Watch. In this series, New Hanover County school nurses share helpful insights for living healthy and happy lives. We bring this series back today for all those who are making the New Year's resolution to exercise or exercise more. Here's Marilyn Howe, school nurse at Pine Valley Elementary, to give us tips on how to begin an exercise program.
A time when many people look forward to a fresh start in life and resolve to improve their health. Making a resolution to start and maintain a fitness program is one of the best things that you can do for your health. Regular physical activity can reduce your risk of chronic disease, improve your balance and coordination, help you lose weight, and even improve your sleep habits and self-esteem. Always check with the doctor first before beginning an exercise program. This is especially important as you get older or if you have a history of health problems. Choose activities that you enjoy and that fit your personality. Not sure where to start? Begin by taking a brisk daily walk for at least 30 minutes with a spouse or friend. This will allow you to start slowly and achieve the most benefits with the least risks. This is particularly important if you have not exercised for a long time. Other forms of aerobic exercise include biking, swimming, or jogging. Plan ahead to make sure you will always have time to exercise. Set a schedule for the week indicating which days you will exercise. Making this schedule ensures that you stick with your plan. Don't make excuses for not exercising. Keep an exercise log. This will help you track your progress as you keep up with your program. Short-term goals are easier to keep, and small accomplishments will help keep you motivated. Don't beat yourself up over the occasional slip. Do the best you can each day and take each day at a time. Find an exercise buddy. Get a friend involved and be each other's motivator, or join a group. The advantage to this approach is that there will always be someone who supports your resolve to keep moving. Write down why you want to exercise. Keeping a list and referring to it often will help keep your motivation strong. Don't forget to reward yourself. Establishing attainable short-term goals gives you something to work toward and a feeling of accomplishment when you reach them. Take time to celebrate your achievements. Treat yourself with something that you enjoy, but that does not contradict your resolution. Avoid food rewards. Instead, go to a movie or get a massage. Stick to it and keep trying. Experts say that it takes about 21 days for a new activity, such as exercising, to become a habit, and 6 months for it to become part of your personality. Your new helpful habit will become second nature in no time. With these tips in mind, I hope you have a successful and healthy new year, complete with regular physical activity. I'm Marilyn Howe, school nurse for Pine Valley Elementary School. And remember, a healthy school is a successful school.
Thanks, Mrs. Howe. For more information on health, visit www.kidshealth.org, where you will find valuable information for parents, kids, and teens.
Jamie, I asked you earlier about a resolution for the new year. Do you have one?
I do have a New Year's resolution. My New Year's resolutions is to not make any New Year's resolutions because I'm really bad at keeping New Year's resolutions. What about you, Rachel?
I might have to piggyback off of that, and I still have some time before New Year rolls around, so I'll have to think about it.
We can bounce other ideas off each other. That's a great idea, actually. It's said that 75% of resolutions are maintained through the first week.
After 2 weeks, the number goes down to 71%.
64% of resolutions are kept after 1 month.
And after 6 months, the number goes down to only 46%. Now don't go away. This rip-roaring edition of the morning show will continue right after this break. But before we go, we have our trivia question of the day. Today, our trivia question is about New Year's resolution.
Every New Year's Eve, 45% of Americans make a resolution, while another 17% only think about it.
Our trivia question today asks, what percentage of people who make resolutions are successful in achieving their resolution? A, 8%, B, 12%, C, 22%, or D, 35%?
We'll have the answer when we return.
May I have your attention, please? Would the owner of the spare tire, slightly hairy, with a little brown mole to the left of the belly button, it's an innie, please report to the press box and retrieve your appendage. Oh, they must have lost this parking further away from the stadium and walking in. Yeah. Okay, we're back to the action.
Takeout meals for just $12.99. Call now.
Sherry Pearson. You You are the sole surviving heir of the King of Montanopolis, and you are now worth $45 million.
I'm rich! This can't be real.
Of course it's not real. Come on. Having money isn't about luck. Like that takeout meal. Cook at home instead, you can save thousands a year. Feed me. Feed the pig.
Welcome back to the morning show. Today's show is about celebrating the new year. Before the break, we asked our trivia question of the day, which was about New Year's resolutions.
People have been making New Year's resolutions for an estimated 4,000 years. The ancient Babylonians may have been the start of the tradition. They made promises to earn favor of the gods and start the year off on the right foot.
Today, our trivia question asks, what percent of people who make resolutions are successful in achieving their resolution? A, 8%, B, 12%, C, 22%, or D, 35%? And the correct answer is A, 8%.
Rachel, why don't people keep their resolutions?
Well, maybe they pick resolutions that are just too tough to keep.
Let's see if you think these are too tough. I have in my hand a list of the top 10 New Year's resolutions for last year.
Share them with us.
All right, coming in at number 10 is spend more time with family. Number 9 is fall in love. 8 is help others in their dreams. Number 7 is to quit smoking. 6 is to learn something exciting. Number 5 is, of course, staying fit and healthy. And number 4 is enjoy life to the fullest. Number 3 is to spend less and save more. 2 is getting organized. And number 1 is to lose weight.
Those resolutions are really hard. I see why only 8% of them are actually successful.
We encourage people to make easier resolutions, like eat more chocolate or binge on Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Better yet, make a resolution to see more of North Carolina. To help you, we've got our next segment. Everyone should get out their pen and paper as we take a trip across the state and all the events taking place in the coming month. Whether you're looking for an adventure or relaxation, mountains or beaches, the rhythm of city life or the tranquility of nature, there's something in North Carolina for everyone. Here's our informative segment we call NC Happenings.
Date, January 1st. Place, Durham. Event, New Year's Day hike. Get a fresh start to the new year with a fun-filled afternoon of guided hikes, refreshments, and festivity. This hike takes place at the Eno River State Park and is sponsored by the Eno River Association. This year there will be 2 hike options. The longer one will be about 4 to 5 miles and the shorter hike will be about 2 miles. At the end of the hike, hot chocolate, marshmallows, popcorn, and s'mores will be available. The hike will begin at 2 p.m. and will last until 4. There will be something for everyone, so come and enjoy. To find out more information, you can visit www.enoriver.org and go to the Events and Activities tab.
Date, January 9th. Place, Southern Pines. Event, North Carolina Symphony, Beethoven's 5th. This symphony will be featuring a famous music director and pianist. They will be performing one of the most powerful pieces of music ever written, Beethoven's 5th. 4 famous notes will lead to this beloved symphony. The event will start at 8 p.m. and end around 9 p.m. It will be at the Pinecrest High School Auditorium. To find out ticket information, visit www.ncsymphony.com.
Date, January 13th. Place, Pembroke. Event, The Monster Who Ate My Peas. This is a musical based on the multi-award-winning book. This is a humorous story about a boy who ate his peas. A crafty monster appears under the table and offers to eat the peas for him, but the boy must give him one of his possessions. First, he gives away his soccer ball, then his bike. But as the monster raises the stakes, the boy must decide if it's time for him to face his fears. The musical will start at 10 a.m. and will last for about 55 minutes. It is $10 for adults and $7 for students. To find additional information, visit www.uncp.edu.
Date, January 17th through 19th. Place, Durham. Event, Big Eastern Coffee Championships. This event will be presented by the Specialty Coffee Association of America and the Barista Guild of America and will be hosted by Counterculture and Dallas Brothers Coffee. There will be 3 full days of competitions featuring the top baristas in the region. This is a fantastic way to get an inside look into what it takes to prepare great coffee and where you can learn more about the industry as a whole. The event is open to the public and will start at 10:30 a.m. and will last until 5:30 p.m. on the first 2 days. On the last day, it will end at 2:30 p.m. To find out more information, visit www.uscoffeechampionships.org.
Date, January 23rd through the 26th. Place, Blowing Rock. Event, Blowing Rock Winterfest. Join the village of Blowing Rock as they celebrate the fun side of winter at the 16th Annual Winterfest. There will be plenty of fun events and activities during this festival, including the Polar Plunge, Winter Feast, Chili Cook-Off, and all of your favorite winter events. A new addition this year is the King Bees Blues Concert and Cocoa and Canvas. The price depends on which event you plan to attend. To find out more information, visit www.blowingrockwinterfest.com. If these events weren't enough for you or you were looking for something different to do, then check out the website www.visitnc.com. Under the Upcoming Events tab, you'll be able to sort and search for something that suits your need.
It's time now for this week's lunch menu. This is the menu for Monday, January 6th through Monday, January 13th.
On Monday, January 6th, choose between the unbelievably cheesy chicken, rice, and broccoli with a dinner roll or a wild BLT sandwich with cheese cubes. On the side, be sure to check out some green beans and potatoes, plus a garden salad and some applesauce.
On Tuesday, January 7th, scarf down a pork chop sandwich or chicken nuggets with the dinner roll. To accompany this already wonderful meal, grab yourself some pasta salad, glazed sweet potatoes, broccoli with cheese, garden salad, and fresh fruit.
On Wednesday, January 8th, get to the head of the line so you can have a lasagna roll-up with a breadstick or a steak fajita with peppers, onions, and Spanish rice. To accompany that, help yourself to some tater tots, garden salad, or some chilled pears.
Then, on Thursday, January 9th, have some chicken parmesan or a delicious barbecue rib sandwich. As the side dish, choose between glazed carrots, black-eyed peas, a garden salad, or some fresh fruit.
On Friday, January 10th, pop some popcorn chicken with a roll or practically hear the angry cab drivers yelling at you as you chow down on a New York-style meatball hoagie with a side of carrot sticks, a garden salad, or a crispy peach crisp.
Finally, on Monday, January 13th, enjoy some takeout-style tangerine chicken with brown rice or a seafood combo with some southern cornbread. Top it all off with some corn or a garden salad or a frozen fruit cup.
And there you have the lunch menu for the week.
Don't forget you can also start off your day with a healthy and hearty breakfast at school.
Each month we poll students on their thoughts from a host of questions. These questions range from local and national current events to topics that are just for fun. We featured their answers in a segment we call Student Voices. Since this is our holiday edition of the morning show, this week we asked students at Rolling Rice, if you can give someone any gift, who would it be and what would you give him? And here's what they had to say.
If I could give anyone a gift, I'd probably give it to the homeless people, like build more homeless shelters so they have food and a place to stay.
If I can give a gift to anybody, I guess I would give it to my sister. I'll give her a brand new car.
I'll give a gift to my entire family because they are the ones who raised me my entire life, so I give them anything that they want.
I would give each poor person a house and enough food for them to survive for at least 5 years.
If I could give a gift to anyone, I would give it to my brother because he has type 1 diabetes and I would cure diabetes for him.
If I could give a gift to anyone, I would give my dad tickets to the Steelers.
I'd give a homeless person a gift, a house.
A trip to Europe for my family.
I would give my family some more help around the house because my dad's always out of town and my mom always needs help.
I'll give a trip with my family to go to China for them to visit their mom and dad.
Thank you, Roland Grice and Principal Will Hatch. Jamie, what about you? Who would you give a gift to, and what would it be?
I would give Mr. Aaron Oliver, student mentor here at New Hanover County Schools TV, a tin of cookies for helping us become better people. What about you, Rachel?
I would give the amazing Jamie a plate of cookies for all she does.
That's a great answer. Much better than mine.
Yeah. Maybe not. I'm just kidding. Now coming up, we have the list and more of your school news here on the morning show. But first, here's a great moment in music.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Who was president? The years 1929 to 1933. He was the first president born west of the Mississippi River. He was blamed for the Great Depression. He began large public works programs and the Reconstruction Finance Corporation. If you guessed Herbert C. Hoover, you're right. He was the 31st president of the United States. This presidential pop quiz has been brought to you by New Hanover County Schools on the Learning Network.
We went down to Mexico to build a kitchen for a church so that we could feed the children. These children don't have anybody to take care of them. We gave them the attention and the love that they just don't have. Once you get a taste of giving, it's a satisfaction that goes into the deepest part of your soul that you don't get from drugs.
Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Rachel Glue. We now have a new segment featuring the one and only Jamie Stalfort. Each week, she'll look at the unique top 10 lists that will be informative and entertaining. From animals to food to entertainment and education, each episode will count down 10 items that are tops in their category. Follow along and see if you agree or disagree with the list.
Welcome to The List. I'm your host, EJ McGonigal, filling in for Jamie Stalfort, whom is co-hosting our morning show. This week's list has a holiday flair, but with a musical twist. Whether you're tracking down the perfect gift at the mall, partying with family, or waiting in line for coffee, you're bound to hear one of these songs during the month of December. That's right, this week we're talking about the top 10 holiday songs. Starting off our list this week is the comical Hanukkah song by Adam Sandler at number 10. Adam Sandler's Hanukkah song seems to have done very well since he first performed it on Saturday Night Live in 1994. The song talks about famous Jews, who may not necessarily be Jewish, and how they connect. In updated renditions, Sandler might add a few more relevant celebrity names, but in essence, the song hasn't changed since it was first performed. All in all, it's a funny and catchy little song that's quite enjoyable. Coming in at number 9 this week is Santa Claus is Coming to Town by Bruce Springsteen. Only the boss can sing a tongue-in-cheek ode to the fat man in red and mean it. He often performs this song live during the holidays, sometimes outfitting the East Street Band with Santa hats, and even though he didn't pen the tune, that would be John Frederick Coots and Haven Gillespie, he now owns it, so to speak, as it is his rendition that gets annual airplay. Taking the number 8 spot this week is Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee. Back when rock and roll was a relatively new concept, it seemed like the freshest thing you could sing about. Lee's hit proved that the excitement of rock and roll surely carried on through the holiday season. In spot number 7 this week is Jingle Bell Rock by Bobby Helms. Another song devoted to both the spirit of rock and roll and the holiday season, this song is still featured prominently on radio stations. In the late 50s, however, this song captured the aesthetic of the time with vocal harmony backdrops and jingle-jangling guitars. It is sure to get your It's sure to get you in the Christmas spirit. Coming in at number 6 is Let It Snow by Frank Sinatra. This song has been sung many times over, but Frank Sinatra's version has to be the definitive and certainly finds itself a repeat offender as an invader of the public consciousness. Frank's warm and silky voice is like a cup of cocoa, obviously drank before that delightful fire he mentions in the tune. We're almost there. Spot number 5 this week goes to It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year by Andy Williams. This song distinctly calls to mind the mall at Christmas time. Originally performed in 1963, it's easy to see how popular this song still is. Just turn on your local radio station and you're likely to hear it. The song is a celebration and description of activities associated with the holiday season. Coming in at number 4 this week is You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch by Thurl Ravenscroft and Dr. Seuss. Besides great music on the holidays, there are also great movies. And the one animated movie character we all reacquaint ourselves at Christmas aside from Rudolph and Frosty is the Grinch. Nothing makes us happier at Christmas than to see the Grinch happy at Christmas. So when we hear this song, it calls to mind that cartoon that we could never possibly outgrow. Taking spot number 3 this week is Santa Baby by Eartha Kitt. The song is a tongue-in-cheek look at a Christmas list sung by a woman who wants extravagant gifts such as cars, yachts, and decorations from Tiffany's. Written in 1953, it is one of the few Christmas hit songs written by a woman. In the number 2 spot this week is the Christmas song by Nat King Cole. Otherwise known as Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire, this warm and cozy tune was recorded 4 times over 10 years until the artist finally got it right. The 1963 version, the one we're most familiar with, is a piece of timeless nostalgia. And drumroll please, the top spot this week goes to White Christmas by Bing Crosby. Perhaps the most referenced song in holiday season, especially when it comes to weather forecasts, is this song written by Irving Berlin and sung by the bellowing Bing Crosby. It has, in fact, sold 50 million copies worldwide, the best-selling single of all time according to the Guinness Book of World Records. It was originally part of the soundtrack for the film Holiday Inn and did very poorly at first, but eventually it became a timeless hit. Now, whatever your favorite holiday song is, these are the ones you'll most likely hear if you tune into your local radio station. And there's a reason why. All of these songs give us either a warm and fuzzy feeling, reminding us of the fun activities that take place this time of year. So curl up by your tree with a cup of cocoa and let them play. That does it for this week. I'm your host, EJ McGonigal. Happy holidays.
That was another excellent edition of the list. Holiday music is great. It just cheers you up.
I know. When they start playing those songs on the radio, it makes it feel like the holidays.
It definitely does. Now let's send it over to the news desk for more Your School News with Emily Coulter. Good morning, Emily.
Thank you, Jamie and Rachel, and welcome everyone to Your School News here on the Morning Show. New Hanover County Schools is collaborating with the University of North Carolina, Wilmington to recognize 11 beginning teachers. The 11 New Hanover County school teachers were nominated by their principals and then selected by the Watson School of Education as Beginning Teacher Promise of Leadership Award recipients. These teachers were chosen based on their commitment to teaching diverse learners, their use of technology in the classroom, and their potential for leadership. The teachers are Andrea Alvino from Laney, Mallory Bendig and Taylor Thomas from Ashley, Laura Crowley from Eaton Elementary, and Amber Hines from Trask Middle School. Also selected were Samantha Hurley and Gina Signorilli from Forest Hills Global Elementary and Jessica Shaw and Cher Thompson from Hoggard High School. Rounding out the nominated teachers are Wendy Turrentine from New Hanover High and Eric Wall from Isaac Bear Early College High School. The award is designed to provide professional growth opportunities along with additional support from WCE faculty members. The 11 beginning teachers will have 3 days of professional development over the 2013-2014 school year. Each teacher will collaborate with the Watson School faculty members to develop their own professional development session to present during a spring 2014 beginning teacher professional development seminar at UNCW. Students, teachers, and administrators at Sunset Park Elementary School and Williston Middle School are each $25,000 richer. Both schools were named a 2013 champion in U.S. Cellular's Calling All Communities campaign. The winning schools garnered the most community votes and each won $25,000 to use as they wish to enhance their educational experience. We have the whole event in their own words.
So Calling All Communities is when U.S. Cellular gives local schools across the country the opportunity to win $25,000. This year we're so excited that we had 4 winning schools in North Carolina, and 2 of those schools were right here in Wilmington. So we're really excited to share the success with this school, celebrate the hard work that it took, and just so grateful for the community that they really stepped up and helped these schools win. So the voting process this year, it was simple. All you had to do was visit uscellular.com, click on the Calling All Communities button, and vote for your favorite school. And it was literally that simple. All you needed was to be 18 years of age and have a valid email address. The best part about this campaign is it is $25,000 the school can use in absolutely any way they see fit. They can use the money whatever they feel is going to help them improve the education for their students. That's how they can use the money. So that's the best part, is they can use the money any way they see fit.
We are going to buy some iPads for small group instruction in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grades. My teachers pull those children over in small groups, and to have the latest and greatest passages and information right there in front of them with the children is something that we're going to invest in. We need some updates to our 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade playground. Right now they have 2 basketball goals and about 6 swing sets. So we're going to give them some more productive play areas out on the playground. And hire an instructional tutor. This is incredible to me because actually it would be enough money to create an extra position for our school and a part-time tutor and help us meet our goals for student performance at the end of the year.
That's all for now. Let's head back over to the hosts Rachel and Jamie for more of the morning show.
Thanks, Emily. We bring our show to a close with a fun yet educational game.
That's right, Rachel. It's time for us to compete in a morning show challenge, New Year's Tic-Tac-Toe.
Exciting.
Let's send it over to Shannon, who has all the rules.
Thank you. Here are the rules. I will ask a New Year's related question. If you get it right, you can mark the board in an open spot of your choosing. The questions will rotate back and forth. If you run out of questions or tie, the person with the most marks on the board wins. Rachel, you will mark the board with Father Time, and Jamie, you will mark the board with Baby New Year. I flipped the coin before the show, and Rachel, you get to go first. Okay, contestants, are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
The first New Year's Eve ball dropped in Times Square happened in...
What are my choices?
Oh. A, 1907, B, 1910, C, 1890, D, 1624.
Is it C?
No.
All right. What was it?
It's A, 1907. Okay, Jamie, over to you. In what state is the pine cone dropped on New Year's Eve? A, Nevada, B, Texas, C, Arizona, D, South Dakota.
D, South Dakota?
No, it's C, Arizona.
Yay.
Okay, Rachel. True or false? Using a baby to signify the new year was a tradition that began in ancient Greece.
True.
Oh, that's correct.
Oh! I'll put my little Father Time in the middle square. Aha.
Perfect.
Okay, Jamie. True or false? Cabbage and ham are popular foods that are eaten on New Year's because they represent prosperity.
False.
True.
I thought it was collards and pork.
No.
Man, okay.
Oh well.
Cool.
I wish, but no. Okay, Rachel, the tradition of making New Year's resolution dates back to A, Spanish, B, early Babylonians, C, early Romans, D, colonialists.
The Babylonians.
Oh, that's correct.
Oh! I'll put mine in the top right corner.
Oh, boy.
Okay, Jamie. New Year's is celebrated throughout the world. New Year's is celebrated in which activities? A, partying, B, dancing, C, singing, D, fireworks, E, all of the above.
E, all of the above.
Wow, that's correct.
Yes. Wow. I will put my little baby dude in the bottom left corner. The one, yeah, that corner.
That one.
Yeah. Thank you.
Left, right.
All right, Rachel. The most famous tradition in the United States is the ball dropping in which city? A, Chicago, B, Raleigh, C, New York City, or D, Charleston?
I'm gonna have to go with New York.
Does this not seem rigged to you at all?
Wow, that's right.
I'll put mine in the bottom right corner.
All right, Jamie. True or false? You have two options.
Okay.
Julius Caesar was the first person to set January 1st as the new year.
It's true.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. I will put my baby in the middle right corner.
The middle.
The middle right.
Oh.
The one on the other side of my other one. There
Yeah.
you go. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Rachel. What is a popular food eaten on New Year in South America? A, corn, B, rice, C, black-eyed peas, or D, chips and salsa?
Aye.
Chips and salsa?
No.
No? All right.
No.
What was it?
It was C, black-eyed peas.
I knew that. Well then, you need to brush up on your South American knowledge, Rachel.
I'll work on it.
Jamie, true or false? New Year's are the oldest celebrated holiday.
False.
No, it's true.
Cool. That's cool.
You're close.
Good guess. There's only two guesses, but that's okay. All right, Rachel.
Try.
What is the name of the most popular New Year's Day parade? A, New Year's Hollywood Christmas Parade. B, Baby New Year celebration. C, Walt Disney New Year's Parade. Or D, Tournament of Roses.
You know, don't you?
Is this your question?
Yeah.
I know.
I have an A.
No,
Oh.
Unfortunately.
Don't watch parades.
It's D, Tournament of Roses.
It's still roses. They still roses.
All right, Jamie. When does the crystal ball begin lowering in Times Square? A, 11:55 p.m. B, 11:57
You knew, didn't you?
p.m.
I was gonna say like 10 seconds, but obviously that's not an answer choice.
C, 11:59 p.m. or D, 12 a.m.
It is 11:57 B.
Unfortunately, no. It's C, 11:59 p.m.
Yes.
Nobody's gonna win this game.
No, we're gonna win.
We're gonna die.
We're running out of questions. Just kidding. The month of January was named after A, Hindu princess, B, the Roman god Janus, C, the Greek god Januarius, or D, a former Roman goddess.
How about the Greek god?
No.
No? All right.
It was B.
Good try.
The Roman god.
That's cool.
Janus.
All right.
Janus.
Okay, Jamie. What is one of the largest annual New Year's Eve celebrations? Where? Where is it? Sorry. A, Hawaii. B, Sydney,